So I love my fiddle leaf fig too, and I wanted to introduce you. I have two fiddle leaf figs, and I'm just gonna go around the house and introduce you to my plants. This girl right here was so tall that she was so tall, and she bent over. She was one stalk, and she bent over the ceiling. And I think these are either 10 or 11 foot ceilings in here. And in the bottom, I have a pothos, a bunch of pothos that grow, and I just cut them all completely back. So they'll start to branch out soon and will fill in the bottom of this pot. They were starting to get kind of leggy, so I cut them all the way back. But love my fiddle leaf fig here. And you mentioned a coin plant. I don't know what that is. I have this. Is this a coin plant? These look kind of like dollars, little silver dollars to me. I don't know what that's called. Is that a money tree plant? I don't know, but I'm bad about, or really good about, sticking pothos in everything because they grow so easily. So that's there. And then this was a gift to me, my little Christmas cactus, and she's been blooming steadily for a while here. I've got one good bloom. This one needs to come off. Let me deadhead that. She's not ready to come off yet, but love that. This is another pothos, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the original plant in here is about 15 years old. I got a door prize at our daughter's high school graduation luncheon, and I think that is the original plant from this, and that would have been in 2010. And y'all, a pothos is the plant that just keeps on giving. You can just trim these ends and root it, and let me show you where I do that, because my girlfriend Missy gave me a little propagation station, and I love it. So this sits on my kitchen counter, and it's got these little like test tubes, which I need to fill with water. They're getting low. But all you have to do is just cut off any end of that pothos. And of course, not just that plant, but I don't know a lot about plants. But fill this up with water and stick it in, and then it will root. And then when you have somebody who maybe has any kind of special occasion, you can take this and put it down in a pot of soil and give it to them, and then you've started them a little house plant, and it didn't cost you anything except the cost of the pot. So thank you. A shout out to my friend Missy who gave me this. I love it, and I always keep plants in here. And if a friend of mine, buys a house, or maybe there's a death in the family, or I don't know, any occasion that I want to give them a little plant, I do it, and I think it's real special because it came from you, and it's something that you started. Do you want to see some more of my plants? Okay. I don't know the name of this plant. I'll look it up. I used to know, but I don't know anymore. But I will tell you that this plant used to be on this chest of drawers, this cabinet, and while it stayed green and it did okay, it never made a red bloom. It had it when I first bought it, and I never saw another one. And I realize it's because it was not in the sun. So she's right in front of a window now, and she loves it. And she is just sticking out her red tongue and showing me, well, I don't know what she's sticking out. Maybe it's a he. But anyway, she loves her new spot, and she has been so happy since I've put her here. And then this is a ZZ plant that I split. It had a huge tons and tons and tons of stems and stalks, and I split it up, and I don't recommend that because it's not as pretty anymore, but we're not going to judge her. And I did stick pothos down in there that I rooted. And I'm telling you, if you think you can't grow, this is my mom. This is the oil painting of my mom that was in my grandmother's house, and I love it so much. But get you a pothos and just start trimming it and rooting it, and you'll have tons of plants all over your house soon. This is a little baby snake plant. I had a snake plant that had little babies growing in it, and this was one of those, and it's in my foyer. This is another little baby snake plant off of the same one. It's down deep inside that pot, and she's trying to grow up big and tall. This is my husband's, I don't know, 5 greats. I'm going to get it wrong. Great grandfather, maybe 4 greats. And this is General John Weekly Brand, which is my husband's exact name. Except my husband's not a general. You want to see some more of my plants? Okay. I don't know what this is called. I know you can take a picture of this plant and it will identify it for you. Did you know you can do that? You can. It's super cool. And maybe I'll do that after we get done with our tour. But anyway, I like her. She probably needs to be in a bigger pot. She doesn't grow very tall. She's a small girly, but she's in the dining room. She does get some natural light, and I like her. Do you want to see some more of my plants? Okay. This is a pothos, and I love her variegated leaves. She used to have a big ZZ stalk growing in her, but she's no longer with us. But I'm telling you, you cannot kill these plants. You just water them once a week. I'll water my plants on either Saturday or Sunday, and she just grows like a little weed, but she's not a weed. We're not going to talk about this one. She struggles. She struggles, but it's my fault. But look at this. Look at my oyster painting that my friend Julie Blackwell did. Isn't it beautiful? There's a mirror behind here on our mantle, but I covered it up because I love this painting. Now, I love this girly. I love this little planter. I put some of those starter pothos seedlings that not seedlings, but those little propagation station cuttings that I rooted, I put in this planter, and I love her. Crazy pothos hair. Would you like to see some more of my plants? Okay. This is my other fiddle leaf fig. She loves this room. Normally we have a couple of these curtains open, but not right now. But anyway, I bought her at Sam's a long time ago, probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and she's doing great. And this is where the other fiddle leaf fig used to be, and it got so tall it grew, it bent over. So I'm waiting for her to get up big and strong. And then these are her friends that she shares this room with. My little ponytail palm, and I gave her a haircut not long ago, trimmed all of her little fronds. And then I've got another cutting from that ZZ plant with a bunch of pothos cuttings growing in here. And then I've cut this plant back several times, and I don't know that it'll make it back, and I don't know what it's called, but she is very finicky if she does not get just the right amount of water, and she's living at the wrong house for that. So this has probably seen its better days. And then last but not least, yet another pothos. Love them. I'm telling you, all you have to do, so see how this is growing really long right here? So probably what I'll do pretty soon is I'll come in here and I'll just snip this off and stick it in that propagation, one of those little glass tubes with water, and it'll root, and then I'll be able to start another plant or stick it down in another plant. So if you're interested in plants, buy one pothos, and when it starts to get leggy like this, trim it, stick it in water, it'll root, and then you can make additional plants for free. Thanks for coming on my plant tour. I hope you liked it. And they definitely bring me joy. I agree.